The following is a DW Ancient Egypt production. Ramesses II began construction of two temples at Abu Simbel in Nubia. This project lasted 20 years and became his most famous construction. Carved out of a mountain, it was a great piece of architectural propaganda for the Nubians sailing north on the Nile, as its walls were shown depicting bound Nubian captives. The front of the great temple consisted of four colossal 60-foot-high seated figures of the king that flanked the entrance in two pairs. One of the heads of the colossal 60-foot statues of Ramesses fell during his lifetime from an earthquake. A wonder of ancient engineering, its orientation was so exact that the rising sun at the equinox on the 22nd of February and the 22nd of October flooded directly through the great entrance to illuminate three of the four gods carved, seated in the sanctuary over 200 feet inside the mountain. These were the gods Ra-Harakti, the deified king Ramesses II, and Amun-Ra. The fourth of the seated gods, Ptah, does not become illuminated because he is the god associated with the underworld. The smaller temple was dedicated to Hathor and his wife Nefertari. Remarkably, the small temple was one of the few instances in Egyptian art where the statues of the king and his consort were the same size. He also inscribed above the doorway to her temple, "She for whom the sun does shine." These temples would later be moved to higher ground by UNESCO in the 1960s when the Aswan Dam was built. They were dismantled and reassembled exactly as they would have appeared in ancient times, fallen statues and all. During the move, there was an interesting conversation about what to do with the fallen colossal head of Ramesses. They could have repaired the head with rods and made it look just as it was when it was built. A decision was made to place the head on the ground just as it was in ancient times. After the death of Nefertari, Ramesses II's personality seems to have changed from the warrior builder to a more sedentary pharaoh. He went from building temples to building tombs. By this point, Ramesses had experienced several major deaths in his family, his chief wife no doubt being a major blow to him in year 25, but he also lost many others during his long reign. His crown prince and firstborn son, Amun-Herkhotep, died before Nefertari in year 17. At some point, his other beloved son, Khemuaset, the archaeologist and high priest of Memphis, died and is perhaps buried in the Serapeum. Ramesses II outlived many of his wives and children, and in doing so, left great memorials all over Egypt. By the time of his death, at about 92 years old, Egypt had become one of the richest empires in the world.